the Supreme Court has now allowed the Department of Homeland Security to continue with the expedited removals and deportations of about 500,000 Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelans that entered the United States between 2021 and 2023 through the humanitarian parole program.
Where are the people that said that there weren't going to be mass deportations? Where are the people that said he's not going to do that? Where are the people that said he's not going to take away legal status from immigrants? Where are these people? I expect a certain demographic to not want to have any immigrants in this country, to want to get rid of the ones that are already here and close the doors and not allow any more in. But the thing that pisses me the most is that a great deal of Latinos help push this, help make this happen.
Bro, if you're on a humanitarian status, Supreme Court just said, Donald Trump, you could kick those people out.
I just heard the news about the humanitarian protection being canceled. I hate that for the Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and the Haitians. I love y'all. I'm from Fort Pierce. I love y'all to pieces, and I rock with y'all. Baby, whatever you need me to do, you let me know what I can do to help. But them Cubans from Miami, y'all can get the out of here. You ain't never heard me talk about going to Miami to visit. All my family from that area is gone from Miami. The only time I go down there is to shop and eat. I don't around with South Beach. I don't around with Miami Cubans. They turn Florida red. They racist. And I tell every group of young kids, do not go down there supporting their business, because they don't around with y'all. They don't like us. To my Latins for Trump. Look what he it couldn't have happened to a better group of people. Y'all get the on. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Familia, did y'all hear about this? Cubanos that have historically supported the Republican Party and have been pretty outspoken about supporting Trump are now more vulnerable than ever. But let's talk about this. For many decades, people that had left Cuba came to the United States and were protected from deportations. Their anti-Castro, anti-communist perspective, anti-socialist aligned very well with the Republican Party, and they embraced that identity when they arrived to places like Florida. But under the current administration, many protections that existed have been revoked, and many people in that community are facing fear and uncertainty about what's going to happen next. Honestamente, I know for many folks it's gonna be hard to feel bad, because in many ways, they were asking for this for other communities. And it makes sense that they feel betrayed, because they were supporting this, not expecting it to affect them. Let me add one more thing. Cuban exiles in the United States are not a monolith, so of course not all of them were pro-deportation, but the ones that were happen to be the louder voices. I know many people in the community that have been talking about this aren't going to feel any sympathy, essentially saying they effed around and found out. I for one think it's sad. The idea of people losing their livelihood and being deported is just inhumane. But I want this to be a conversation. Familia, what do you all think about this? Do you have sympathy or not? Let me know.
So I was about to make a post about the fact that I don't see enough Latinos making videos, condemning the people. Those, I will vote for Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't see them being condemned enough. But then I thought about it. I used my critical thinking. Yeah. A lot of people in America don't know what the hell that is. But I used critical thinking and I determined, they don't want to be in the spotlight. And I get it. Right now it's not safe. Okay? It's not safe. And I get it. But make a list. Y'all should know the names of the people who played that stupid stink ass song, and everybody who made a t-shirt, Cubans for Trump and all this stuff. Know their names and shun the shit out of them. No violence, but shun them. Make them motherfuckers stand alone. I would just feel bad for their kids if they have to be deported, because they will be. 500,000 of them, thanks to the Supreme Court. But yes, they deserve every bit of it. And if I was y'all, I would not let them blend in. Shun them. Because they did vote for Donald Trump. The ones who could vote. Stupid. I mean, you know what? If I was y'all, I would tell Trump. I would tell Trump where he at. I sure the hell would. Because let them come for black people. When it comes to shit like that, I will. Candace Owens, all of them will be at the front of the freaking line. Okay? Trust me. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Them suckers going first. Okay? But, that ain't gonna happen, so I'm not gonna claim that. But if it did, the motherfucker going first. Y'all don't let them blend in with y'all. Okay? Trump, he voted for Trump. Get his ass.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. So guys, Cubans, Haitians, and Venezuelans in Miami, they are in tears. Majority of them, they are being forced to leave United States simply because right now the United States Supreme Court, it has allowed the Department of Homeland Security to continue with the expedited removal and deportation of about 500,000 of Cubans, Haitians, and Venezuelans. So right now, majority of Cubans and Haitians and Venezuelans, they are being deported back to their country. They are being hunted and they are being deported back to the country. So I want you to watch these videos and reaction of Cubans and so many people coming out and share their views, reacting on the same thing. So kindly guys, watch this till the end, then I'll be back with more comments.
Stand up, Miami Cubans. Stand up and take a round of applause for playing yourself. Oh, you think this is going to only affect those without documents, right? How are they going to know? How are they going to know who is here legally and who is not? Oh, you're going to let them violate your constitutional rights and ask you for your ID? Oh, you think, oh, I'll just show them my ID and they won't bother me, without realizing that is a violation of your constitutional rights. Do you even know your constitutional rights? Do you even know? Or do they just keep you down there in Miami in some of the worst schooling in the nation and they don't tell you your constitutional rights as they stomp on them? Oh, you think it's going to affect others and not you. It's the selfishness that really gets to me. The selfishness that they voted for this. And I'm not saying that Haitians, Venezuelans, and Nicaraguans, whether they were here legally, voted for this. No. Specifically, Miami Cubans, who were so blatant on the timeline leading up to the election that they wanted this, but you didn't realize how it's going to affect your life, because how do they know who is documented and who is not? You're about to FAFO.
Have y'all seen the video of that Cuban Trump supporter, man, complaining about Trump after there was a video that went viral of him celebrating Trump's victory a few months ago because Trump signed an executive order that's pretty much demanding that truck drivers know and speak and can read English in order for them to be a truck driver? And guess what this guy does for a living, man? Yeah, he drives a truck, man. He hasn't just driven a truck. He's been driving a truck for 20 freaking years, man. For 20 years, and now he's scared that he might lose his license because he doesn't speak a lick of English. And at that point, I mean, yo, you've been here for 20 years, man. At that point, you kind of did it to yourself, bro. But whatever, man. It points to the fact that there was a lot of Latinos, man, that was supporting Trump, that I was looking at them like, I don't know, I think you might want to be quiet at this, at least publicly, you know, because a lot of Latinos out there were doing certain things that, you know, when the Democrats are in control, they just look the other way. They don't really care, you know. But when the Republicans get up in there, they start shaking things down, you feel me? And now this dude is over here scared because he's like, damn, how am I gonna feed my family, bro? This is all I do. And yeah, I know that the Latinos that hate Trump are having a field day with this video, man. It's going around the internet. Everybody's telling me, you see, we told you he don't care about no Latinos. But nah, bro, come on, let's start learning English, bro. You've been here 20 years, bro. That's one thing that Latinos do that blows my mind, bro. I know people been here 40, 50 years, bro. Don't speak a lick, can't even beg in English, bro. But yeah, that was a little funny.
Bro, if you're on a humanitarian status, Supreme Court just said, Donald Trump, you could kick those people out. I grew up in Miami. So during the election, I was talking to all my friends back in Miami. I'm like, hey, talk to the people that's thinking about voting for Trump, because if you have family members that are on protective status or temporary status, they will end up disappearing. I personally didn't know what Trump was going to do. I just thought he was going to be like, you know, like that type of guy and just, put people in jail, and well, it kind of turned out to be much worse. And now, you know what the funniest thing is that The Venezuelans was going so hard for Trump, and then they got instant regret right after election, and now they're like, oh no. And the Cubans in Miami, they were waving around with the American flag, and then they were just like, oh, we'll go for Trump, we don't like communism. It's like, bro, you guys are so dumb, you don't even know what you're talking about. And now all those people are gonna go bye-bye.
The first thing is I feel sorry for Latinos for Trump, because what they are is that they're trying to fit in a community that they consider to be superior to themselves. They try to appear to be part of this culture. So what they're trying to do is trying to overcome their own self-hate, because they see themselves as less. And when they see themselves as less, they have to pretend to be like the group that, according to them, is above them and better than them. So when they see an immigrant, the immigrant reminds them who they are and where they come. And that causes hate, because they hate to be part of that common, and they take it out on other people. So what they are is a bunch of people with a lot of self-hate that pretend to be part of a superior group, what they see as a superior group. And because they are not accepted, and they will never be, when they see a person like them, it creates hate in their heart, because they hate themselves and the situation that they're in, that they're trying to be part of a group that they will never be part of. And that immigrant reminds them who the they are, so that hurts them. That's what a Latino for Trump is. It's a person who wants to sit at a table, but they won't let him. And because they don't let him, he kicks everybody else out that looks like him to try to be the one to sit on the table. But at the end of the day, he's also going to get kicked out. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
Mi gente. I haven't done one of these in a while. Between the Cuban Adjustment Act and then when they started, when they took away their refugee status, I came on here and I talked about it again, and I kind of make fun of them. But anyway, here's another one for the record. Cuban Americans take front and center. Cubans for Trump. Front and center. Let's talk about it, because I know you don't want to talk about it now, right? Now you're avoiding me at all fucking costs, right? And I think it's funny, but in the last fucking week, this administration has gone after you super hard. Super hard. Even those that have been in the country for a while are getting detained and being threatened to be deported. And he is coming after you. There goes the articles that this, because I know you're going to say I'm lying, but I'm not lying. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's just a matter of time. Once he revoked your refugee status for you, Haitians and Venezuelans, right? Now you don't have the protections and that your ass voted for, right? Do you remember all the videos? Your votes, voy a votar por Donald Trump. Right? Remember that? Remember that? Remember how many of you came to my page to talk shit? Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Do you think this would have taught you a lesson for midterms? Do you think it's going to teach you a lesson for 2028? I doubt it. I doubt it. But I hope it does. I told you so. Again, I warned you.
The Supreme Court has now allowed the Department of Homeland Security to continue with the expedited removals and deportations of about 500,000 Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelans that entered the United States between 2021 and 2023 through the humanitarian parole program. The Supreme Court is allowing the Department of Homeland Security to proceed with this while the case is being litigated in federal court. Between 2021 and 2023, the Biden administration allowed more than 500,000 people from these 4 countries to bypass the visa vetting program and enter the United States through a parole, means they got a sponsor in the United States, uploaded some financials, and then these people were allowed to just come to the United States. There was a lot of fraud involved. Even the Biden administration shut it down, but then reopened it. And a lot of people have been able to enter. They were able to come for a 2-year period and even get a work permit. In January, Trump issued an executive order telling the Department of Homeland Security to terminate this program. DHS Secretary Noem went ahead and terminated it in March, and then the lawsuit was brought up in April from the recipients of the parole program, along with their sponsors, to fight the lawsuit, saying that they need to continue with their 2 years here in the United States and they just can't be uprooted like this. So the federal judge went ahead and agreed with them and said every case needs to be examined to determine whether or not they should be subject to expedited removal, and they still need to wait out their 2-year period in the United States. This went back and forth. Now it went in front of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, no, DHS, you can continue with your expedited removals and deport these people while it's going on in federal court. And if it comes back again in front of the Supreme Court, then we'll decide it then. But for now, DHS can continue doing what they set out to do back in March.
We're not even deporting people who are here without documentation. We're taking away people's documentation and then deporting them. Trump loves to throw out these numbers, like 21 million people who are here illegally. I hate that term, by the way. Next, it's going to be 61 million. But if we have so many people who are here without documentation, why do we need to be pulling visas and revoking status for people to meet our ICE quotas? Trump is making people who came here legally illegal.
So my husband's family is from Georgia, and they have a particular phrase when somebody screws themselves over. They said, well, you screwed the pooch on that one. And I think that phrase right there is very fitting for what the Venezuelans and Cubans are going through at this moment. Yeah, they definitely screwed the pooch by voting for Donald Trump. Eso pendejo nunca aprende. And I think the funniest videos that I've always made has been on those Miami Cubans that are always crying, getting upset because we put billboards talking about Donald Trump. And they're like, oh my God, this is going against America. And we have told them time and time again that Donald Trump does not like you. You are still an other. But they thought that white proximity was just going to buy them a little bit of freedom, I guess. But what makes matters worse, guys, what makes matters worse, you guys are not understanding how entrenched in the cult they are. They have their own Cubans that are not citizens, basically funding Trump's campaign, grassroots campaign, praising Donald Trump. And the same goes for Venezolanos. Their TPS status because Biden allowed them. Biden is the chance that they were over here. And same thing, they were giving money to his campaign. They were pushing Trump, all in a f***ing cult. And now your asses are on the list in which he wants to implement a travel ban. What's on there? Cuba and Venezuela. That to me is outstanding. That you are not even a citizen and you are pushing Donald Trump's rhetoric. Why did you even think you were special? Well, you screwed the pooch on that one. It's funny, but not funny. And P.S., this is not meant for those Venezuelans that absolutely voted blue. You guys have a great day.
He's not just deporting illegal immigrants. He's going after people who went through the process the right way and are here legally. This administration just stripped the legal status of 500,000 plus migrants from Nicaragua, Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, all people who are living and working here in the United States legally. They paid their own money to get here, went through our temporary protected status program, seeking refuge from their country because it's at war or there's natural disasters or other dangerous circumstances that drove them to seek refuge in our country. And the Trump administration said, your place in the process be damned. We're stripping your legal status and now you can legally be hunted down and deported. To be in this program, you need a U.S. sponsor, which is usually a family member. So he's not just ripping these people away from their work and their communities, he's ripping them away from their families. And migrants contribute billions to the economy, billions to the workforce. They enrich the culture and the diversity of the country. Who wants to live in a country where everybody looks the same, acts the same food palettes, same religions? That sounds like a nightmare to me. And this is all taking place while he fast-tracks the citizenship applications for white South Africans. literally deporting all the black and brown immigrants and only allowing in white South Africans. We all need to be paying attention to what's happening right now because there's a lot of similarities between us and Nazi Germany.
Now do you understand that it was never about your legal status? It was just about the fact that you were not white. Trump told you that he was going to do this and you let him use you. Cubans for Trump, Latinos for Trump, dogs for slaughterhouses, and y'all voted for him. And it's just because you had too much disdain for a black woman. You could not stand to see a black woman make it into the position of power that y'all wanted, so you voted for the man who wanted to send you back to your war-torn countries. Because most of these visas, the over 500,000 visas that he's revoking are visas that Biden gave to people who were fleeing war-torn countries. Biden did so much for the country, provided so much solitude, gave the people a fighting chance, alley-ooped it up to Harris, and you guys said, no, she's black, fuck shit. Now you have a month to self-deport. Not a month to contest, not a month to get your legal status in order. He is giving 500,000 people a month to self-deport or face deportation through ICE. And you know what ICE is now? They take you to Guantanamo Bay. They're going to make you slave labor. And you know who doesn't have rights in America? Non-citizens. I remember vividly arguing with people, letting them know that it did not matter if you got here legally. It does not matter how you are as an immigrant, if you're a model immigrant. If you are not a white American, they were not going to protect you. And we told you all. What? I just saw a video of Cubans on the boat singing Cubans are going to vote for Trump. You see the first list of people on this? Cubans. And they were one of the loudest supporters of Trump. It makes no sense. He said he was going to do this. I need to know, why did y'all vote for him when y'all knew he was going to do this?
Where are the people that said that there weren't going to be mass deportations? Where are the people that said he's not going to do that? Where are the people that said he's not going to take away legal status from immigrants? Where are these fucking people? I expect a certain demographic to not want to have any immigrants in this country, to want to get rid of the ones that are already here and close the doors and not allow any more in. But the thing that pisses me the most is that a great deal of fucking Latinos help push this shit, help make this happen. A bunch of other Latinos that came here illegally at some point, for the most part, or their parents or grandparents migrated to the United States as a necessity, seeking refuge, liberty, freedom, and all that bullshit. You know, the same thing that these people from Nicaragua, Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti are looking for. Where are the people that kept saying, we don't mind immigrants, we just want you to come here legally, the right way? Where the f are you now? Because these people came here the right way, came here legally, came here with paper in f***ing hand. That is what pisses me off the most. Your hypocrisy, the hypocrisy of the Latino, Trumpian, Republican community. And that leads me to this last point. You better f***ing pray that that orange taco chicken in the White House doesn't decide to rescind, to take away citizenship from people like you and I, who are U.S. citizens, who have been U.S. citizens for decades. You better f***ing pray that his fascism has some sort of limit. Because that would be f***ing hilarious. That would be f***ing hilarious if one day we woke up and the motherfucker saying that we are no longer going to allow these people to hold U.S. citizenship. I will laugh, even though I will be angry. I will f***ing laugh my ass off at you dumb f***ers who voted, Latinos who voted for this son of a bitch. You better pray that doesn't happen, because I will be here. I will be here laughing my ass off at your stupidity. Because the way I see it, this taking away this legal status from these people is a f***ing test. A test to see what the courts would say and do. And here we have it. And for those of you who don't know, yes, a U.S. citizenship can be revoked under certain circumstances. And when you have a fascist government like the one we have right now, they will find those circumstances to use them against certain people. See, this never was about coming here the right way, with papers in hand, the proper way, the legal way, or the illegal way. It was never about that. This is about inflicting pain, suffering, and unnecessary anguish to a group of people that have already been through pain, suffering, and unnecessary anguish. What this administration is trying to do to these people, it's a crime, it's dehumanizing, it's disgusting, it's un-American. It amazes me that so many people in this country that talk about freedom, that talk about law and order, that talk about doing things the right way, sit idle. Not just that, but condone this kind of shit. The thing is that because it's not happening to you, it doesn't affect you, you see no problem with it. Typical American way.
So guys, I hope you have watched and listened to that video. Majority of Cubans, Haitians, and Venezuelans, they are being forced to leave United States. The Supreme Court of United States has allowed the Department of Homeland Security to continue expedited and removal of and deportation of about 500,000. You can imagine 500,000 of Cubans, Haitians, and Venezuelans. They are being hunted to be deported back to their country. So when black people, they were sending a message to the people, to these other races, the white people, the Asians, the Venezuelans, the Cubans, not to vote in for Donald Trump. Majority of them, they were saying that black people, they want to vote their fellow black person to be the president of United States. And majority of these other races, they didn't vote in for Kamala Harris because the race, it was between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. So majority of Cubans, Haitians, they voted in for Donald Trump because Donald Trump, he was saying that he's going to make America great again. That it is short terms of MAGA. He's going to make America great again. But right now, we are seeing so many people, they are crying. Even the white Americans, they are also crying. They are also losing the jobs. You can see what it is happening to the Cubans. Cubans, they thought that they are safe with Donald Trump being the president, but right now they are crying. They are being hunted like dogs. You can imagine. You are being hunted, and they want to deport 500,000 of them. You can imagine the Asians, they are being deported, the Cubans. These people, they voted in for Donald Trump, and the black people want them. The black people want them not to vote in for Donald Trump, a yellow man. These people, they were saying that they are not going to vote in because of racism. They don't vote in because of a black color. So right now, the color they choose, it is the one which it is hunting them. So Donald Trump is continue making America great again. For me, I don't see any reason for black people to cry, because we black people, we want these other races. We want them not to vote in for a yellow man, Donald Trump, not to vote in for this guy. But these people, they didn't listen. So they voted in for Donald Trump because Donald Trump, he came with a lot of promises. He was saying that the cost of living is going to, he will be reduce the cost of living, but right now there is a high cost of living for those immigrant people, also those who they don't have papers. We have been seeing how these people, they are being deported right now. Majority of them, they are being deported. So each and every races in the United States, it is being affected. No, it is not only for the Cubans, Haitians, and Venezuela. No, each and every races in the United States, it is being affected. But this is a message to these other races. They should not ignore what black people, they are saying. You know, these other people, they usually see us black people as people who don't have focus, as the people who are confused. When we tell them do this, not to do this, they usually ignore us black people. So right now we want them, but right now you can see they are crying. I came across also another video of also a white people. They are crying because they have lost their jobs. And also the white people, even right now, they can't afford basic necessities, the food. These people, they can't afford even to pay a hospital bill. These white people also, they can't afford right now in the United States. So things have changed in United States, and people should learn to listen to other people. So for me, I can tell the Asians, Venezuela, Cubans, not to cry, because you are the ones who brought all this problem. you should stick until the end. And also it needs to be a lesson to you guys. When we black people, we are saying things, sometimes you need to hear and you need to follow. So if you guys you will not if you guys you will had black people saying that you should not vote for Donald Trump, right now you could be safe. Right now, America, it will be easy. It could be easy for you, but right now things have changed. America, it is harder. Right now, America, it is for the rich people. If you are not rich in America, America, it is not for you. If you are poor in America, you will continue to be poor. But if you are rich in America, America, it will continue making you rich. So right now, the people who are in government, that the rich people, Elon Musk, we are seeing Donald Trump, these people, they are billionaires. So the government of Jamaica right now, it is being run with the billionaires. They don't care how the poor people, they are suffering. They don't care about the immigrants. So these are some of the issues that are also the white Americans they are going through. So kindly guys, I don't want to talk too much. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye guys.